Yes, sir. It's your boy T.Gold. I'm at the crib. This is the TCK headquarters where I'm at right now. I'm live. I'm kicking it live to y'all today. I'm at the crib. We have to switch it up. Sometimes we gotta pivot, folks. And you know when we pivot, we make it happen regardless, no matter where we at. Alright? So I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the TCK Web3 News Podcast, episode 111. Shout out to the Pink Houses, 111 in Queens. If you know, you know. You heard? I don't even think they there no more. But yeah, y'all, this your boy T.Gold. I'm up here live at the crib. Man, pardon me for a second. Just know I'm new today, so I'm extremely about that show on. So take a quick swig of some water, and I'm gonna give y'all a rundown of some of the dope 3D printed items that we have. All right. So for y'all visual pleasure, on the table we have the one and only Michael Jordan 3D printed jersey in a frame. This shit is dumb hard. This shit is stupid. This shit is fly as hell. When I cooked it up, I was like, man, I already know this thing gonna go. So this thing gonna go stupid. So shout out to MJ, the GOAT, the GOAT. Alright. Then, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. I'm cheating today. There's one item up here that's not a 3D printed item, but I had to represent the Pudgy Penguins. So I got a Pudgy Penguins die-cast car that you see up there. You know what I'm saying? Driven by Ricky Stenhouse. That was actually a NASCAR car that was actually wrapped with the Pudgy Penguins. Logo. Print. Fly. I really like this, man. Lionel Messi, man. This shit came out dope. And you see these little gold trophies here? These are none other than keychains. All right, so these are World Cup keychains, and you see it got the holes in them so you can put the loops in them for the keychains. And we also got the other one that actually has the loop, so you might prefer the loop. So we got that. And oops, I got to pick that up. Now we also got a desktop trophy. All right, so this is two-tone. It's gold and black. So we got this for people who just want to keep a dope memorabilia from the World Cup on their desk. You know, they might want to put on their dashboard at they vehicle or something like that. You know what I mean? So this is dope. This is dope. I really like this, man. So we got the trophies. We can't forget the Mint and Marquee 3D printed business sign. All right. So we got a special treat for y'all with the business signs. And speaking of business signs, I got my other business sign. I Gets Busy. You heard? So if you're watching us now why you know what I mean? Because I designed it. You know what I mean? That's what I do. So, if you're interested in copping some Web3 merch to stay Web3 wavy, I don't know. I'm getting my words mixed up today, y'all. Let me slow down. Let me take a sip of coffee. If you want to be Web3 wavy, go to igetbusy.com. Get you some fly Web3 merch. All right. So that's what we doing right now. So for my people on IG, I gotta apologize because y'all not able to see anything right now. But I'm about to go live for y'all. Boom. So yeah, man, we live on IG right now and we live on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So we getting the visuals right for y'all. We getting the visuals right. And speaking of visuals, guess what else we got? See this? This is the Atlanta Blockchain Center keychain. This is the new logo. That I actually designed too. So this has as well. So unfortunately for my people on X, aka Twitter, you can't see these, so you're gonna have to hop on YouTube or you're gonna have to hop on Instagram, take a look at some of this dope 3D printed items that we got. So shout out to Cristiano Ronaldo. I know I'm saying his name wrong, but hey, he knows who I'm talking about, man. Word up. So, but yeah, this your boy T.Gold. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm at the crib. We are on episode 111. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to be on episode 111. You know what I mean? That's a special number to me. If y'all know anything about numerology, they got fate numbers and life path numbers and all that. But we ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole. But my life path number is 9. My fate number is 3. So bomb. So today is 111. So we gonna get right into it, man. So the first story that we're gonna get into is Maxine Waters checking the crypto exchange Kraken for their Federal Reserve access. All right. So there was a partnership between Kraken and the Federal Reserve to actually put some of our economic data on chain. I thought that's phenomenal. But Maxine Waters ain't having that. Next story we're going to talk about is Washington State, not DC, but Washington State is not feeling cowshy. All right. So they feel like they should not be operating legally in their state, all right? Because it's a betting platform. So I'm gonna tell y'all like this. It's gonna be interesting to see that case because there's a the name of Poly Market. They actually are doing something dope. They doing live streaming. All right. So I think that's pretty dope. But it's like some real time DJing betting. That's gonna be painful for some people, man. I already know. People gonna be losing bets in real time, man. That's gonna be horrible for some people. But this is gonna be interesting to see. Who knows? We might end up doing that. And also, Panini. For all you trading card collectors, Panini is going on chain. They are going to the Ethereum blockchain, and we're going to talk about that more in detail because they got a lot of different IP that they work with. Most notably the Major League Baseball. So, we also going to talk about the drama inside of the Ethereum community. Okay, it looks like there's a loyalty pledge. I'm putting that in air quotes for all my people on Twitter and X. There's a loyalty pledge that they want people in the Ethereum community to, I guess, sign. All right, so this is going to be pretty funny. All right, so it's mainly for the kidnap them just so they get their crypto, access to their crypto. Okay, so unfortunately for those teams, it didn't work out. So those are some of the stories that we're going to talk about. We're going to get into detail. All right, so I got my guy E3 up on stage. E3, how you doing? How you feeling? I appreciate you tapping in, brother. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm good today. I'm good. Cleaning it up a little bit, getting rid of the old so I can, start bringing in the new. But I'm just chilling out today, man. About to get ready to go to the gym. Had a good weekend for the most part. Still doing some work. Been working on these crypto taxes, man. They're super annoying. I wish I didn't have to deal with them for real. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I challenged myself this weekend. Yesterday, I was at the run club and they were doing like 15 miles, and I was like, I'm gonna try to do that. And I ran 10 miles and got to the point where I was like, I'm not able to do that yet. So I turned
Miles, man, I'm telling you, last time I played basketball, my for me so bad. But yo, hats off to you, man. Hats off to you being young, man. Take advantage of you being young and definitely work your way up to those 15 miles. I know you can do it, E3. Word up, man. But nah, that's dope, man. I'm proud of you, brother.
And I appreciate that. No, everyone in here can do it. Look, even when I run on Mondays, there's this guy. He's like 60 something, and every time we run, he outdoes all me and my boys. Like sometimes at the end, like we'll try to race him, and I don't know how he does it, but he like gasses all of us. And I'm like, I'm not trying to say we're slow out there, but I mean, for him to be at his age, and like not trying to say like the age should limit you. It makes me really happy to see, like, look, you can, as long as you just keep putting in the work,
My cartilage is limiting me. I have no meniscus left. That's what's limiting me. But, I just wanted to chime in. 10 miles is no joke. Congrats. Like, I couldn't do 15 on my first try. Bigger. Else, that's a really pop one. If you use Coin Tracker, it's supposed to aggregate all your expenditures. So try and check out some of the tools, because it sounds like you're dealing with some headaches. Just mess around with some of the tools to help out, especially when everything's on chain. There are a lot of tools that's like, this stuff is transparent, so they track it and then they help you with the tax portion. So check it out if you haven't already.
I'll definitely check those out. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cash, thank you for that. We appreciate that because they've been going hard with their advertising. Man, CoinTracker, they have been on YouTube going hard with their marketing. I swear to God, almost every other YouTube video I watch, they've been doing that. So yes, do your crypto taxes and use CoinTracker to help you put all your information together, man. Thank you for that information, Cash. And E3, man, like I said, man, 10 miles is far, B. 10 miles. Listen, I know how far 10 miles is, man, because I track my miles daily. Yo, so
I just got off of those highways of Atlanta, and it's strange out there. The traffic is different. I definitely say that, but I'm having a good weekend. In the process of moving, and also in the process of getting ready to release like the new version of Blue Water's website. So it's a lot of cooking in the background.
we getting an update to the website. Looking forward to seeing that. That's dope. That's dope. Well, salute to you on that, And salute to Cash as well, because I know that's a project both of you ladies are working on. And this is the last Sunday of Women's International Month. So it was like, no, it's Women's History Month. That's what it was. They had International Women's Day, I think like 2 Sundays ago. All right. But this is the last Sunday for Women's History Month. So big up to all the ladies who are in Web3. Our value in this space as far as educators and women in this space is a rarity, especially
The stage, and you're just women. I wanted to shout out Cass because she's going to be speaking at TED. So, I just wanted to shout her out for that.
Oh, that's fire. That's major air horns, man. If I had the setup right here, I have the air horns going. You know what I'm saying? Man, salute to you for the TED Talk. I'm looking forward to that. Please send the link whenever you have that set up so we can check it out, so we can support you. Man, is it going to be a TED Talk on location where you at, or are they going to fly
Thank
you
you.
out?
Well, it's kind of a mix of two things. It's not like a official TED Talk, but I will be going to the official TED conference, and I'm part of kind of like a unspoken program called Ignite, where they recruit like top talent and founders to get their full TED experience paid for. You have to get like recommended, and they send like a small cohort like but maybe down the line I'm gonna do a talk. That would be amazing. But this is the group that they look at talent for, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a 5-year program too. So they give you the following year, it's another like free. They pay for like everything, including like meals and stuff together with your cohort. And then even the next 3 years, they give you like discounts to TED. So it's part of a larger like plan of recruitment to get you to be in the TED community. And some people have already been to TED and they get, the Ignite program and they pay for their ticket and they don't have to pay. And some people have never been to TED. So it's kind of like this, it's kind of like this secret program, for lack of a better word. That's kind of how they describe it. They're like, this is an unspoken thing that's been going on only for the last 3 years. This is the third year. And they just find people that they think should be at TED, whether it's their first time or they, go every year and they just full on pay for their ticket. So it's pretty cool.
On you going to this TED Talk event, man. So that's super lit. That's super dope. And safe travels. Safe travels. All right. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, Blue, thank you for that information right there too, because we didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? Word. So this is what we do, man. We love to highlight what people are doing in this Web3 space, man. We are moving and shaking. Speaking of moving and shaking, next week at the Rice Center, all right, ABC will invite students from the AUC. That's the Atlanta United Center, all right. So what it is, it's all of the colleges that are in that facility, that area over there. That's Clark, that's Morehouse, Morris Brown, and Spelman. So it's going to be students pulling up to our Off the Chain Thursday. So it's going to be a great opportunity for us to teach the youth, put them on to what's going on in this space and how they can take advantage of right? And that's on Nelson Street for a 4-4-day Atlanta, as far as Childish Gambino's television show Atlanta watch party. So we're gonna be going there after the 4-4-day parade, and we're probably gonna pull up to Big Boy's event. You know what I'm saying? He got an event that's like a food tasting event, so I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, Atlanta's gonna be lit. It's gonna be April 4th. That Saturday. Man, the parade is going down. I believe the parade starts at like 10 o'clock. I'm gonna have to do my research on that. So, but I think it does start at 10 o'clock. All right. But man, it's out there, and it was just amazing just to watch. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. So next week, if you got any Web3 merch from I Gets Busy, please wear that, so we can go out there and represent and let people know what we do out there. All right. So I'm looking forward to that. And big up to everybody who helped put that together. Shout out to the bar chef too, man. You know what I'm saying? Word up. He came through last year like the Black Knight, you know, in a Rari, one of the last cars, actually the last car in the parade, you know, to round it off. So that shit was super lit. I can't even lie, y'all. All right. So it's about time to get into these topics. It's about time to get into these topics, all right? So let's talk about it, y'all. Let's set it off. Talking about Maxine Waters, okay? She got a problem with cracking, okay? Maxine Waters is raising concerns after the Federal Reserve Bank Kansas City granted cracking a rare limited purpose master account, potentially getting. Waters is questioning the relation with federal banking rails, with supporters arguing it could modernize payments and reduce reliance on intermediaries, while critics warn it could introduce new systematic risks. All right, so I actually see both sides of the argument, okay? So far, to my knowledge, if I'm wrong, please in the audience correct me. I don't think Kraken has been hacked, but I can be wrong. All right, because some of these exchanges, as we know in the past, like Bitfinex, they've been hacked. We know sometimes Coinbase isn't operating correctly and people can't pull their funds off. So I understand her concern, but I really feel like, the system does need an upgrade. Ladies first. I'm gonna let Blue go first. What's your thought?
Do you have it before you get ready to pop off? You go first. You go first. No, you have time. Go ahead. I'm going to give you the floor. So I know you have to leave. Yeah, I'm pro crypto. We had a question in like a group. We had like a group thing where we had some icebreaker questions, and it was like, what's the most ridiculous hill you would die on? And I was like, I would have to say the blockchain space, and I don't even think it's ridiculous. I just think like I would die on this hill. Like I think blockchain is the future, and whenever people point out hacks and things like that, that's going to happen in traditional stances. Like consumers are at risk now with banks, with their credit reports. Like this morning, I was spending the whole morning disputing things on my credit score about like banks I never used and things that didn't really happen the way it's being reported. Act get pushed back multiple times because he's not getting that 34% fee that he wants on Coinbase. So it's like instead of letting the Clarity Act pass, he's really fighting for Coinbase to make sure that their bag is secure, and that secures the legacy of Coinbase, right? Like people don't understand they're one of the largest exchanges, but they're going to be struggling with profitability too if they can't get these transaction fees and the volume. That's why they push so hard for volume. They need more and more people to let those fees add up so they can, be profitable. So there's all these ulterior motives. I still think like blockchain has the at least opportunity to improve some of the monopolies in the banks, but they have their motives too. Like everyone wants a piece of the pie, but I think my opinion, is in crypto financial systems. It's just which ones will we use, which exchange will we trust, and the nuances will play itself out on the political scale.
Man, Cash, you absolutely smoked that. Man, you brought up great points, especially with Coinbase getting a 34%. When I heard that yesterday too, I had to do some research. I was like, wait, hold up. They getting 34% off of the staking that you do on Coinbase. So I was like, I see. Yo, Cash, you hit that right on the head too. So yeah, I see why he definitely was opposed to the Clarity Act and slowing the process up. And then another point that you made was sometimes our financial institutions do get hacked already. So it's you brought up great points. You brought up great points. Blue, what's your thoughts, Blue?
No, I think it was a great take. Set up like government for, you know, digital assets so that they can be able to control them like how they're setting up now. So I think her issue is, will Kraken allow them to control as much as Coinbase is like involved with the government, is my take.
That's a big point. Dang, so you're saying she's on Coinbase's side because she's talking to Brian, and that the lobbying is happening. That's why she's anti-Kraken, because she's trying to stay pro Coinbase for the lobbying. That's a big point.
Yeah, I think it's almost kind of like if you look at Anthropic and ChatGPT, as far as who's going to let the government have access to their company, right? So then the government can use their tools and then also monitor what that company's doing, very much like a Google type situation. But we've all seen how that played out. But I also feel like Kraken was that's why she's talking to my take.
Great take, Blue. I like that. Y'all both smoked that, ladies. Man, I appreciate y'all. E3, you got any thoughts on this? Because if not, hey, I think we gonna keep that right where it's at because you ladies covered a lot of ground on that. I really appreciate all of the points that y'all mentioned. You know.
Yeah, I would say they did. Yeah, they covered pretty much everything.
That's right. So yeah, man. Again, shout out to the ladies. And we gonna roll on to the next story, y'all. This also has to do with, you know, politics and prediction markets. All right. So the state of Washington has filed a lawsuit against Kalshi, accusing it of operating illegal online gambling by allowing users to bet on events like elections, sports, and geopolitical outcomes, setting up a major legal clash over whether prediction markets are financial instruments or prohibition-wide crackdown that includes multiple lawsuits, bans, and even criminal charges in other states such as Las Vegas, Nevada. Right? Kalshi is pushing back and seeking to move the case to federal court, and the outcome could be pivotal in determining whether prediction markets can legally scale in the U.S. or face strict limitations under state gambling laws. Okay, so I think this is going to be more so a battle for the SEC and the CFTC because what Kalshi and Polymarket has both stated, they fall under regulation through the CFTC. Okay? But there are some states that feel like they should fall under the SEC. So to me, I feel like regardless of who regulates these betting market platforms, it's still gonna happen. You know, you got DraftKings, you got Prize Picks, you got what's the other one out there? There's another big betting one. You got rain bets, you got stake, and are ridiculous. But some of them, you know, like the Oscars, and if certain albums are gonna, you know, reach a certain amount of sales, I feel like is pretty dope. But at the same time, you know, people can be addicted to these gambling sites. So I understand the concerns, but hey, I think this is gonna be a long battle, but ultimately the prediction markets will win. That's just my opinion. I gotta ask my co-host, what's your thoughts on the state of Washington trying to shut down Kalshi? Who wants to go first?
I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, my thought process is it's not going to happen. The only reason why I say that is because last time I checked, Trump's sons are a part of the ownerships of the raises for both of Kalshi and Polymarket. So I think that it's going to be kind of like what I think the outcome will be either prediction markets basically will fall under whatever each state's like gambling laws are.
Good point.
That's kind of my thoughts. I don't really think that it'll go too far because of the people who are attached. Just like we see like ups and downs with crypto, but we know crypto is not going anywhere just because of who is running our government.
Nah, that's great points. Great points. Now, Kaz, do you got any thoughts on this as far as Washington State and Kalshi? Because Blue made a very great point. Following what prediction markets may do is what the states allow for regular.
And using addictive behavior methods. They're arguing that they have false branding and violating consumer protection laws. They're saying they're not a traditional financial market, but they're a deceptive platform. So, it comes down to like, are they legal or are they not according to state laws for Washington? So we're just going to see how that one plays out, because you never know. Like, sometimes you can have an upper hand, but other times companies can find loopholes or they can pay off people, pay judges. So you really never know. It's like, we could even gamble on this, like using calcium. Like, will Washington shut us down for their state? Yes or no? We can even make profit off of that. So I think that would be kind of funny and interesting, gambling behavior for state. We're like constantly fighting homelessness and like gentrification, and I just think it would be a really vulnerable audience that would want to gamble so that we can put ourselves in better living conditions. So it's like we're gonna want to gamble, like, period. And a whole bunch of people in our population fly to Vegas every year, sometimes multiple times a year, or move to Vegas to gamble. Like, it's a big part of our like culture, so to speak, like our modern culture, not our actual culture. But like, people fly to Vegas all the time, like so much so that they call Vegas the ninth island because we have 8 islands in our chain, and they call Las Vegas the ninth island because we visit there so often. There's like a good Hawaiian and Polynesian community out there. So it just like yeah, it wouldn't be a good thing here. No one will go to Vegas anymore, and I can just like easily predict so many people just losing their life to gambling here. You know.
Phil, that's crazy, yo. Yo. You said the ninth island. That you said.
The ninth island. That's what we call it. Like, you can ask any local. Like, the ninth island. That's what we call Vegas. Like, we claim it. It's like a whole other island for us, and we like take over. And they got the good eats there. Like, Vegas knows how to take care of the people. You get the free drinks. It's like, spend a little. We'll spend a little for y'all to spend a lot. Like, we'll give you a little free drinks and stuff, and you just put your money in that slot, and we'll get it back. And, that's the relationship. You have a good time, we have a good time. Like, they know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing.
Yo, that's hilarious, yo. So, yeah, I totally understand your concerns. If they already claiming Vegas is part of the island chain, that is so crazy, yo. So, nah, you make great points, man. Great points. Man, and Tia must have got the word, man, that this is Women's History Month, man. We got all 3 ladies up on stage right now. We got Blue, we got NF.
maybe Vegas start to lose some of its luster, and as it relates to the gambling community, because I don't have to fly to Vegas to participate in these actions anymore. I can do this right at home, and you see it. A lot of you see the cracks and kind of like the young men. A lot of them are drinking or as their vice right now, or drugs aren't as the most affluent vice right now in their lives. A lot of these young men, their biggest vice is online betting and gambling right now. Now on the flip side of that, though, the gambling sites have gained enough power and, and uh, many in Vegas. And what I mean by that is Vegas had such a foothold on the gambling community was because of the mafia, and they basically, brought out the way that state was regulated as it relates to gambling. So imagine if that type of same power and influence hit the nation, what that looks like. So.
Man, ladies, y'all smoking shit today. Y'all smoking shit. Tia, that was a great comment. That was a great comment, man. So, yeah, we already know, man, if people like the mob get involved in platforms like Polymarket and Kalshi, because if it's not happened yet, it's bound to happen. Yeah. Vegas, they're going to want a piece of this because, yeah, like you said, Tia, they don't want, Kalshi and Polymarket in Nevada just because of that very point that you stated. So, nah, Tia, that's great points, great points. E3, you got any comments on this? I'm going to throw you up on stage, brother. If not, we going to move on to the next one because all of the ladies smoke that. Of prediction markets. Let's talk about a positive.
Yeah, can you?
Oh, there you go. I hear you, brother.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. I'll just chime in real quickly about that with Washington. I don't think that it is inevitable. Eventually, like each state will allow these platforms to operate out of them. But I even know to that note, I think California was recently like in the news about Gavin Newsom saying he wants to ban Polymarket or Kalshi from operating in their state too. So it's just this legal battle that's gonna play out that just makes things take longer than they need to. And I mean, I get the benefits from it too. Maybe they can like regulate it a little bit more to make sure people aren't just spending all their life savings on the hope that they'll win this bet. But to at that point, I think it's like they should look like all this.
That's their biggest vice right now. and having people putting their life savings in this, like you said, it can have a very negative effect. So, but at the same time, they do have other vices such as sports gambling. So they gonna gamble regardless. They gonna gamble regardless. So hey, you know, maybe E3 might be right. These states might be a little bit more lenient and say, hey, you know what, we're gonna let this roll because we got all these other platforms of gambling available anyway. So, And this is my last point on this, and E3, you touched on this. And Tia touched on this too. If the state
everybody to give a disclosure here for me too, but I think that's not what I think. One thing that, like you just mentioned, and then Elijah mentioned with the states, a lot of their conflict with blockchain and this permissionless environment we live in blockchain is the fact that it doesn't require their involvement a lot of the times, but monetarily there are benefits that they inevitably will take advantage of when it's to their benefit and when it is to their regulation and regulatory authority. So that's all that is with the banning and the nonsense of jurisdictions and all this stuff. There is a negative effect with all of it. Of course, it is gambling. That's the nice way they're labeling it prediction markets and prediction. And NFT or an AI project more so. And this ain't got no drama. It's just not on here. It's just something that's just interesting. I don't know if it's been talked about in the coverage a lot this week. But hey, man, shout out to Meek Mill, man. I know he get made fun of a lot in the culture for whatever reason, but Meek Mill out here closing multi-million-dollar raises, man, and immersing himself fully and don't care about looking crazy. And shout out to the young bull who even shot his shot at Meek Mill, pause, like in regard to saying, hey, Meek, I'm willing to do this, da-da-da-da-da, and really got that conversation started. So shout out to just the advancement of the continued growth progress in our communities. But yeah, man, that was it. I just wanted to talk about the prediction market stuff too, and then jump in here a little bit. I got permission to speak for my son today. So
This next story has to do with what we just talked about, this prediction market, and they just gave it a whole nother angle. So Polymarket, they partnered with a platform called Party to launch a new live prediction trading experience that let users trade on real world events directly within live streams in real time, eliminating the need to switch between platforms. So viewers can analyze markets, place trades, watch probability update instantly as events unfold turning live streams into interactive financial dashboards powered by crowd sentiment. This is so nuts, yo. So the integration also introduces a new monetization model where creators earn a share of trading fees generated by their audience, creating a more engaged, participation driven creator economy. That's kind of dope. I ain't even gonna lie. So overall, this move signals a major shift how prediction markets are blending media, finance, and real have fun with the live stream. Now we got the live stream on Poly Market, and they can, man, if we live streaming this right now like we are, and we got Poly Market, the prediction market on part of the live stream, and people are making bets on some of the shit that we talking about, and I get some of the fees from y'all trades on these prediction markets, man. I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of dope. That is kind of dope. It'll make us even more degenerates than what we are with meme coins in fucking real life trading bets on Poly Market. But hey, it is what it is, man. That's what we here for. We here to make money, man. But I think this story was fucking crazy, you know. But hey, I think this shit gonna go up. I ain't even gonna lie. I think this is gonna go up. This is a great feature. Who wanna take this first? Easy Bunny, you got your hand up.
Yeah, no, it was interesting right away. Sounds like Terminus Labs not fun. Minus the live streaming, but hey, that was it. Shameless plug. I think this is great.
I think there's a lot of layers to this. Gary Vee has been talking about the trend of live streaming and selling products, kind of like QVC, but the more online version, like Whatnot, if you guys have heard of Whatnot. And so this has already been like a huge market that's starting to grow and has been predicted to grow. So I think that's kind of, you're taking two rapidly firing, emerging verticals in this industry, betting, with the other emerging piece, live streaming and selling on live streaming specifically. Live streaming has been around for a minute, but selling on live streaming like Whatnot, and you're combining the two, so it has the chance to be a very viral thing. Number one. Number two, the intersection of agents affect these air quote live streaming, and how does that affect farming and being able to win from bets from farming too. And then kind of the more typical old school things you got to think of, the concerns of just like KOLs, the same influencer type of people just saturating the live stream, and or the other issue that other like Pump.Fun was like terrible content, right? The same thing when AI art first came out, it was just like trash AI slop art. So it's like you have, those are more like typical things you can kind of predict will happen at first. Is like it kind of has to go through its paces of like okay, this streamer is not saying anything like interesting. Click next. Oh, Vitalik's on here. 100,000, a million views, right? So it's like they're gonna kind of see the typical thing where the most popular person is not a views, like verticals, these two rapidly firing verticals. So yeah, that's my layers thought.
Man, great points. I didn't even think about the agents on Poly Market. Oh my God, that was a great point. All right, so I know we got a few people I want to speak on this. Go ahead, E3. Your hand is up, brother. The floor is yours.
Yeah, you said this was just on Polymarket too, real quick.
Just on Poly Market right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was just gonna say, I mean, this kind of like you were saying does make that creator economy a little bit more interesting because, I mean, this is when it comes to like energy control. Almost, I hope that makes sense. But like the amount of people and influence that they'll be able to have from these type of live streams will not only like benefit them, but they will have like control to be able to kind of like influence what these people do, especially if they have like a big enough following. So I think it's pretty interesting too. You brought up that point where they will be like incentivized to people.
Oh shit, my phone locked up on me.
Did
Hold
you
up.
mean power like electricity, Elijah, or a different way?
He was saying like I think it was like electricity, yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna double check with what he was talking about, so I don't sound crazy.
That's extremely interesting too. But you also mentioned sentiment, so that's what this is all about. But think about this: on Poly Market, there's leaderboards. The people who are the best traders. You imagine the top 10 traders go live. These are gonna be the biggest streamers because they're gonna be like, yo, these guys got a 56% win rate. This person got a 72% win rate. All of these people with crazy. Now that's to Cash's point when she mentioned the bots. Now this gonna bring in the world coin ID. I mean, Mocha is already talking about a digital ID that got a higher win rate than a human, but they're not live streaming, so it's like, all right, you can watch. You can't really watch their shit. You can watch their trade. You can copy trade, but it's more interesting to watch a human and people's reaction when they win. You know what I'm saying? It's just like hearing the casino slots go off and shit. People go crazy when they hear that.
I mean, they could make like an avatar, and they'll probably make like some hot chick avatar that like her boobs jiggle when she laughs and wins. And I bet you a ton of guys and people will tune in. Like, it's gonna be crazy. I'm just really curious about the agent intersection, whether it's a bot doing the streaming or it's a bot listening into the human and just like making bank off of listening to the human live stream and just betting like crazy, just sniping everything. So that's what I'm interested in, is seeing what happens there.
Yo, that's funny. I didn't even thinking about an agent actually having their compete with a human. Virtual, you know, it's gonna happen, man. That's a great point. Great point. Blue, on this because I don't think you had an opportunity to share your thoughts on this.
basically.
Okay. No, hold on. Now you're saying it dependent on this niche going global as far as just prediction markets and streaming. This particular niche. That's what you meant.
Like far as ETH is concerned, because it's like just like a neutral infrastructure that anybody can build on, and it doesn't kind of define who can build on it, who stands on it. So the tension isn't going to go away, basically. So it's what's happened. It's something that's moving from like the niche of like what ETH was to more of a global infrastructure, and also like the loyalty that they're trying to build to prove the loyalty to be a part. So it kind of
Is if you're not familiar with Miladies, this is a big ETH NFT project, right? It's one of the biggest ETH collections, right? There's tensions within the Ethereum Foundation because there are rising reports of an internal mandate, possibly including a loyalty pledge, okay, urging alignment with core values like censorship resistance, privacy, and security, sparking backlash from community members who argue that enforcing ideological agreement contradicts Ethereum's decentralized ethos. So the controversy has been amplified by the perceived influence of the Milady NFT community, with critics concerned that a niche, highly opinionated faction might be shaping Ethereum's direction, while supporters believe doubling down on cypher to pushing for has shifted for some people in the community. So I really think this was an interesting story when I saw it as well, because what if you don't really jive with what's going on with the Milady community? You know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden Ethereum is leaning more on that community and adopting their beliefs and their ideology. It's the same way if, let's say, NFT collection that you love, all of a sudden you find out that they were more MAGA supporters. You know, it's gonna have a change in your community, and you're gonna have people not fuck with the community because you're changing the core beliefs. You know, by adopting, you know, new philosophies coming in from an influential NFT community. All right, particularly Miladies, and to me, because I Bitcoin version.
He's very AI project essentially, and that has something to do with initially like AI 16Z, right? And I believe they've even had to rebrand in a lot of different things, and Eliza OS, and so a lot of the different reshapings that happen in Web3 is natural, but that community is very different, to say the least. I've never wanted to rock a Milady PFP. So the base angel was very based because it was on Bitcoin. But yeah, the Milady community are pretty crazy, pretty radical, if I'd say so.
Thank you for that clarity and that explanation too, man. Hey, Blue, is there anything else you want to share on this? Because I know you touched on this a little bit earlier.
Is not going to get me. My guy is posting books every day coming from his page talking about decentralization, and we've lost our way because we put a lot of fillers in it instead of keeping it to like the purpose of what it's supposed to provide. So I think that's my take. It's going to be either they'll leave and go to, different people do different things. I think they'll try to live on layer 2 or something. But I think those that violate like the code that he's trying to keep, they're going to get kicked off.
Great points. Man, who knows? They might, branch off like you said and start their own chain. That's what happens when there's a difference of opinion and philosophy. I believe the first time ETH split, I believe Marlon had mentioned that a couple of weeks ago at ABC when it was like, Gavin Wood and Charles from uh, uh, and got you, brother. All right. I appreciate everybody's thoughts on this. Oh, Cass, you got your hand up.
I had a quick thought, and then I definitely have to jump after this, but the conversations are always so amazing over here. Thank you, T.Gold, for bringing up a great conversation as per usual. I think Blue gave some good points on the technical piece. I wanted to chime in on the philosophical piece. And I think one of the beauties of Web3 and community is that you could really be yourself. You could really find your tribe, find your cult, if you want to call it. That's a beautiful part about it. The downside of it is you will shape image on the wall, ABC, and all these racist things, and like we were just like really confused, like so like you do get judged in the outside world based off of the wins and the losses in this space. We get criticized a lot for, the losses of crypto, the hacks. We get judged by it all. So it kind of comes with the territory and the tech. It's always up to the people of how they use it. As far as like Ethereum Foundation, they don't represent all of ETH, so it's like them choosing to lean into Milady, it's like that doesn't speak for everybody. But from the outside world, what you see the most, what's the most popular, whatever coattails you ride on, like we will be judged on it. So again, there's like beauty to like having your own community and your own project and your own coin. Like that's the whole purpose of this space is decentralization and financial freedom and moving away from like the bank. We see everybody. That's kind of my philosophy on it. Is like the whole space is what we make of it. And Ethereum Foundation doesn't speak for all of us. We speak for ourselves. Like anything we build and we own.
Man, Cass, those are some phenomenal thoughts that you shared with us because I agree. I was just thinking about this. So many of us are building in this space. We don't count our own victories. I know I'm not a big fan of even counting my own victories. And I see that's kind of almost like the same philosophy of everybody at ABC. But I definitely got support and I was championed from individuals like yourself, like Blue, like Sharita, like all you guys here on the space, you know, on this podcast, like y'all all been like sometimes, you know what I'm saying? For those that know who know. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. We're gonna keep it moving, regardless of what happens in this space. And I love being a part of ABC, and I forgot who said it earlier. I don't know if it was Cass or Tia, but yeah, we gonna die on this hill, man. We are gonna die on this hill. I know I am. I ain't gonna lie. I love this Web3 crypto shit. If it ain't this, it's hip hop. I die on a hip hop hill, but it's only for the conscious shit, not the bullshit. You heard? So only because of hip hop first. But nah, I appreciate everybody's thoughts on that, man. So we got two more stories, and we gonna wrap it up, y'all. So check it out. I'm a big fan. That's actually tomorrow, that allows users to move digital trading cards from its closed platform into self-custody wallets where they can be traded on OpenSea, marking a shift from a walled ecosystem to an open blockchain ownership. I really love this. Vivi did this not too long ago. Right? So the system locks the original card on Panini's platform when transferred to prevent duplication and supports two-way movement, creating a hybrid model that blends traditional platform features with Web3 liquidity and control. So essentially, they're having a digital twin of a physical card. All right. So starting with selection. All right. Right. Like came from open ecosystem with collect big thing that people hated about Vivi in the past. But I stuck through it and I'm glad I did because now it's worth it because there's been some record breaking. I'm gonna tell you like this: Vivi's still doing $11,000 sales on some of these digital collectibles. I'm still seeing Spider-Man selling for 19,000. I'm still seeing, you know, four-figure sales coming off of Vivi. So they still smoking shit, but I am happy for Panini. I don't have any Panini uh, digital trading cards, but I'm gonna just see what they got over there because I'm interested in collecting NFTs and see what brands they got over there. So I gotta ask my co-host and my listeners, what's your thoughts on Panini actually bringing their digital trading cards on chain, and particularly to Ethereum?
I think it's a good move. I mean, very much like you said, you hung in there with Vivi because I was riding the wave for a long minute. There's other companies that what's it called, BZ. They have cards that you can trade and they store it in Brinks. So I mean, I think this is a great move for the company. And then as crypto just continues to mature, you know, security has to evolve with it. So it's really about protecting like the identity, the location, and the access to like real world things. And low key, that just means real life things. So if I can see it, touch it, use it, that means it's real. And putting a digital twin to access it or protect it, I think that's a dope move for them to do. And I'm glad they're waiting. They're doing it before waiting for everyone else to do it. And I think.
But I'm gonna just tell you like this until my brother get back on the stage. When it comes down to it, we need platforms like Panini. We need platforms like, well, Candy Digital is about to get bought by Tad Smith. He's the CEO of Pudgy Penguins. So it's going to be interesting to see these NFT platforms and how they evolve. So we talked about Vivi evolving. Now we talked about Panini evolving. They're going on chain. So I forgot who mentioned it. Maybe it was you, Blue. Somebody mentioned it this past Thursday. But yeah, Disney, you know, not only did they have their NFTs on Vivi, they went ahead and just partnered up with Pinnacle. And that's a whole separate app where they got like digital pins. So you can get your own Disney specific NFTs, and they're actually different from the ones that's on Vivi. So the Vivi ones are more like 3D AR features, and you can interact with some of them. And, and the ones that they have on Pinnacle is many partnerships. But I'm gonna look into Panini. All right. So, any more questions or comments on that? We're gonna see if my guy E3 is available to get up on stage, or I'm gonna invite Easy Money up on the stage to see if he want to share his thoughts. Because if not, we're gonna move on to the last story. I'm waiting for the fellas if they want to say any thoughts that they have, share any ideas that they have on any of these stories, man. Feel free to say something, because we on the last story, all right? This one was interesting, so we're going to talk about crypto security, all right? Check this out, man. So 2 California teens are facing adult felony charges after allegedly driving over 600 miles to carry out a planned $66 million Bitcoin robbery in Scottsdale, Arizona, highlighting a growing shift towards physical attacks targeting um had a dead firearm. All right, that's a no. All right, we don't do those things over here. All right, so while demanding access to the victim's digital assets before fleeing the scene when police were alerted. So this is what happened. All right, they ran up to somebody's house. They had disguises. They had restraints. They had 3D printed firearms, and basically try to tie somebody up so they can get access to their digital assets, specifically $66 million in Bitcoin. I don't know how the hell these motherfuckers figured out. Who the hell would just talk about like, oh yeah, I just got $66 million in Bitcoin? I don't believe people are that naive. I don't think people are just out here blabbing about how much crypto they got, because that's wild. How are these people even figuring out how much they got unless they are even saying it? So, the investigators believe the teens were directed and supported by outside actors, underscoring concerns that organized networks may be recruiting younger individuals for high stakes crypto crimes. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, they look like they wasn't harming nobody. So they must have had like some I don't know, some terrifying masks on, because I don't see how anybody would have saw them and just been scared. Because listen, man, people stay vigilant. If you stay in a state where the Second Amendment, you have the right to exercise, your right to bear arms, do it. Protect yourself. You know, protect your digital assets, protect your ass. Okay? This is important. Don't be out here blabbing about what you got. You know, regardless of whatever I come across, whatever I have, or whatever I don't have, I'm always going to move the same way. All right? And I'm from the hood. So I don't play no games. All right? So when it comes down to it, just protect yourself. Don't be out here flashing. Don't be out here arrogant. Don't be out here like, yo, I got this, that, and the third. You know, because we're hard for. You heard? So just know that, and just stay vigilant. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much the last story, but I'm gonna see if anybody has any thoughts or questions or comments on that, because this is crazy, man. It's 6 o'clock, and the last story is about 600 miles these teens drove to do a fucking crypto heist. Wow. E3, the floor is yours, brother.
Yeah. Hey, I could hear you with the last story. My bad. To answer your question, I'll collect NFTs. It really depends on what it is nowadays. I'm not really like huge on just saying I have this NFT just to say I have it. Maybe in the future, like I'll have a room with like cool picture frames or something. But I mean, I'm just more or less on the belief for like NFTs and the use cases of utility. This, what you were talking about here, um, as your digital footprint as much as possible, even like your information's out there already, but like for the public facing information, you know, you just gotta create a persona that people see. Like, for example, online, like I'll post about like I'm involved in like blockchain stuff, but I'm not gonna be out here like posting my wins or nothing. The only thing you'll probably see me posting online is like marketing for the events that we're doing. I'm running, or I'm doing something with like wellness, gardening, or something. So yeah, you just gotta be careful about what you put out.
Oh man, hold up. Yo, my bad, y'all. Speaking of security, my phone, my screen locked up on me, so I had to put my fingerprint up there to unlock my phone. Yeah, man, security, man, top notch. Lou, what's your thoughts on security in this space?
Security in this space. I think those two young men uh, found themselves. He dedicated his feet to get his C phrase, and he didn't give it up. The people in Italy, there was a heist like in the mid during the Olympics. 4 cars like blocked the road, and these guys jumped out with like assault rifles. Said grabbed the guy that was holding all this Bitcoin that went to the Olympics. And then in France, like that was a viral video of these guys that jumped out to grab this older man and was beating the mess out of him. These people came to help him, and they did not get him because the people who came to help like pulled him off the van that they were trying to throw him in. So I think the biggest piece of the security is you have to watch the people who wallet track, because there's like professional wallet trackers. And you have to really watch
Or attempted to be kept, over the crypto holdings. And there are people who do watch wallets, you know. So yeah, just be vigilant no matter what you do, you know, even if you getting money, no matter how you getting money, whether you in the streets, whether you got a 9 to 5, life insurance, bread, it don't matter. If you getting a lot of money, just be careful how you move. It don't even matter how you getting it. You know what I'm saying? And respect the fact that there's a lot of people who don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you like nice things, you know, stay your ass in nice areas. You know what I'm saying? But even when you in nice areas, don't get caught lacking. You know what I'm saying? Keep your shit on you. You know, keep. Hey, I'm gonna just tell you like this. When it comes down to it, if you're from the hood, you already know these rules. But there's a lot of tech people who never grew up in the hood, who don't know anything about criminals, or anything about color, super fat. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you know, that's I guess the gift and the curse of growing up in the hood is that you tend to be more on point because you've dealt with bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Even if you didn't have a lot, it was just like people was just, you know, you had stick up kids. That's shit where I'm from in New York. That's where it was, you know. I'm an 80s baby, man. So I seen all this shit, man. So just know that, just be vigilant. And I appreciate everybody's thoughts and commentary on this. And again, there's a few things I'm going to highlight. The events that we got going on Thursday at the Rice Center. Pull up. OTC Thursdays. Students from the colleges, the AUC, will be pulling up to our event. Definitely, we need as many of our loyal ABC members to pull up to help, you know, with these kids, whether it be mentoring or just giving them some good game and how to navigate this space. So definitely pull up to the right over here. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna just yeah, like this, man. New show. I appreciate everybody's thoughts. I appreciate everybody's uh, concerns because they definitely expressed a lot of concerns in some of these stories we talked about, whether it was prediction markets or just safety and security in this space. Shout out to our guy E3 co-hosting today, holding down our guy Just Cheeze, getting his hair braided because his born day coming up. So next Sunday we gonna be celebrating his birthday on the podcast. You heard? So we gonna do something fun. It's cheese with cheese, man. We doing cheese with cheese, man. You don't even know. It's a crazy theme, but I can't wait to talk about that. So happy early birthday to our guy Just Cheeze, man. He getting his braids laced, man. That's why he ain't pop up on the pod today. So shout out to our guy Just Cheeze. Shout out to NFT as she popped up on the spaces today. You know what I mean? Even though she will always be a co-host, but even though she chose to fall back to focus on building out her platform, she is cooking out there in them streets and shout out to you, brother. Appreciate your thoughts today, man. And last but not least, shout out to Blue for holding down the TCK podcast today. Next week, we'll be at the Rice Center. We're going to be filming live from there, so that's going to be dope. I'm looking forward to that. And we're gonna be celebrating Just Cheese's birthday. So we might have a special, happy birthday celebration on the pod, man. I don't know what I'm gonna give him. I can 3D print him something. You know what I mean? Because we got two printers. Just to know we not playing no games with y'all, man. You see what we doing here. You know what I mean? You see this Jordan 3D printed jersey over here. You know what I mean? You see this Ronaldo. I know I'm still saying his name wrong. Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, that's his name right there, boy. Printed object right there. We got the line Messi 3D print. Because I'm gonna capture the beat in the parade. I want to just be a spectator of my team doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Capturing that footage. So it's gonna be dope. I appreciate everybody tapping in today. And you already know how we do. I can leave y'all with music, but everybody on YouTube, everybody on Instagram, I can't be playing no music. I think I can on YouTube, on Instagram, but not on YouTube. They be trying to hit me with the copyright joint. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I want to play one of my favorite songs out right now. All right, this is a dope joint, and this is from a kid by the name of Fergie Baby. All right, he's from Harlem. All right, shout out to all my peoples from Harlem. Shout out to my guy Owen Rogers. You know what I'm saying? He getting married soon too, man. You gotta let us know when that wedding is popping, man, so we can attend and support you, brother. But this song right here is one of my favorite joints right here. This Fergie Baby featuring A$AP Ferg.
Just to be a hum pop, know that pop not this is shaking, she is not so bitch. Fuck it, it's summertime, the ladies with me, head cracking, the sixes hitting, baby taking these niggas chicken, going big ol' Linux, it's a good day.